To the chair first, sir.
You want to speak first?
I'll speak first, and then you can speak.
Okay.
Because we want to give you more of a tribute.
Okay.
Please. No? It's your night, Bob, so you get to do whatever you'd like to do.
Okay.
Well, I truly feel honored to be here this evening. What a wonderful tribute. It really was. And to have the opportunity to be here with you is something that's very special to me. It's my pleasure to be here for this beautiful tribute to Bob's illustrious and inspiring career. I traveled here this afternoon from the East Coast. I'm heading out this evening on a red-eye. But it was important for me to be here to have this opportunity to say a few words about Bob in his honor tonight. Bob dedicated his career to helping the underserved in our society, and I thought if he could dedicate his life to that work, then I could dedicate 10 hours on an airplane to be here with you tonight. Like my own father, of blessed memory, who grew up in the same Brooklyn neighborhood that Bob did, they both loved the Brooklyn Dodgers, right?
Yes, eventually.
Legend has it that Bob would often ride his bike to Ebbets Field just to catch a glimpse of Jackie Robinson. He had been told at an early age that African Americans were rowdy, that they were uneducated. But when he showed up at the ballpark, he soon learned that these were all lies. That African American people that he came into contact with at the stadium were some of the best dressed, most well-mannered, and engaging people he had ever met. At a young age, Bob quickly learned that to treat all people with respect and dignity, to build bridges between communities, to fight discrimination, and to serve the less fortunate in society, and to promote the ideals of equal opportunity for all was what he wanted to dedicate his life's work to. Now, it didn't hurt, Bob, from what I understand, that you were a very smart young man. I'm told that by the second grade, you were able to read the New York Times from cover to cover. Is that true?
Not to cover, but yes, I did read it.
I'm also told that Bob actually didn't need to take a math class until he reached middle school, because by kindergarten, he had already learned his multiplication tables, and in the early years of elementary school, he was already doing complex division. And so it wasn't until he actually reached middle school that he had to reacquaint himself with math class. As an early adopter of the pay it forward philosophy in life, Bob's uncle helped him through Columbia and eventually Yale Law School. He became a lawyer and turned around and took the blessings that had been given to him in his life and dedicated, as I said, to helping those less fortunate than him. What a career it's been for Bob. We all know he founded America's first legal service program for rural families, California Rural Legal Assistance, working in the Salinas Valley with Cesar Chavez, and later founding and leading, as we heard earlier, many organizations dedicated to fighting institutional discrimination around the country. He's been chief counsel for over 100 class action, court, and administrative lawsuits and proceedings, focusing on minority economic empowerment, civil rights. He founded one of the West's first public advocate law firm, public interest law firm called Public Advocates. But perhaps one of Bob's most enduring professional gifts has been his ability to harness and create new opportunities and to recognize talent and help nurture and grow that talent for the leaders of tomorrow to carry out the mantle and carry on the mantle and bring it forward. Nothing has been a greater representation and illustration of that ability than his work in recent years with NDC and with NAAC. We're so proud of Faith and what she has accomplished, but we know, and Faith will readily concede, that all the credit goes to her friend and mentor, Bob Gnaizda. We know that Bob's retirement is going to create a tremendous void at these organizations, and while Bob's daily presence will be missed, his knowledge, his passion, his energy, and everything that he instilled in Faith and so many people involved in those organizations will carry them forward as they continue to live out Bob's life's work. Finally, for me, I just wanted to add a personal note of gratitude to Bob, myself. When I think about the fact that I've only actually known Bob for 3 years, it seems unbelievable for someone to have made such a lasting impression on me in such a short amount of time. It was in late 2015, probably around this time of the year, when I first became acquainted with him through the transaction that merged my company, Charter Spectrum, with Time Warner Cable and Bright House Networks. Charter Spectrum, we're glad to be a sponsor for this evening's events. But just as Bob had put the finishing touches on Comcast's, on blocking Comcast's bid to acquire the same company that I was now attempting to have the California Public Utilities Commission approve, I was a bit nervous to meet him, as you might imagine. I know that he and Faith would, in that instance, have a big hand in sealing Charter's fate. And as we moved through the process and I got to know Bob better, even as it being the twilight years of a long and prosperous career, I found myself learning from him. He taught me so much about myself and about business, and how business can truly make a difference if it learns and listens to the concerns of its citizens and of the community. He helped me see that there wasn't one way to do things. With a little compromise, a little give and take, and an openness to not just hear, but to actually listen to one another, we would have the ability to accomplish great things. Like for so many of us in the room, Bob has made a tremendous impact on our lives. Knowing Bob has helped us to learn a little bit more about ourselves, what we're capable of achieving, what it means to dedicate yourself to something, how to harness our collective energy and strength to make the world a better place. Putting aside all the awards and accolades and achievements in Bob's career, I think what is probably more meaningful to him is to know that there are people out there like me, and I'm sure all of you, who feel blessed to know him, feel better for the lessons that he taught us, and feel inspired to carry on and continue the work that he has so ably performed. Shakespeare once wrote that our doubts are traitors that make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. Bob is a man who attempted, who did, and achieved great successes. God bless you. I wish you well. And thank you for everything that you've done on behalf of everyone here.
you, Alan.